Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to make a prey model meal for your dog that's targeted for a dog that has pancreatitis. My dog is 13 years old and he's been on this diet for almost a year now, and he's done very, very well. I found the recipe online from a veterinarian named Dr. Judy Morgan. Um, we're going to make the recipe a little different. Um, just because this works, and I want to make the basic for you guys. That way, anyone that's transitioning from dog food to this diet, it'll be a nice smooth transition. So we're gonna use. I'll go over the recipe once I put it all in. Um, a lot of the dogs have problems with the protein. That's what they're allergic to. So we're gonna use lean ground pork. And I've already defrosted it. And this is 5 pounds that we're going to use. So I'll drain that. I'm going to show you guys how to cook that on the stove so we can add it in later. So you're going to want to go ahead and add 3 cups of water to your cooker. And I already have our green beans here. So I'll go ahead and get those. And guys, I have found that if you put everything through the food processor first, before you put it in the cooker and cook it down, it cooks way faster. It's a lot smoother. It's easy for you to add the meat later on, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so there's our green beans. And then this is asparagus that I've already cut up. This is one bundle. And I'm going to leave a link to the original recipe. And then, of course, I'll leave a copy of the one that I use. The asparagus. Push it down once. Push it down once. There we go. There's our asparagus. Dr. Judy's recipe calls for 6 ounces of kale, but we're going to I use 15 ounces of kale mixed with collard greens. And I know that because I have a scale here and I already weighed them for you guys. So what I do is I put all of that in there too. This has already been washed. All of this kale here. Get them all going the same direction. Everything down, just a smaller size so you can fit it in your food processor. And guys, before I found this recipe, I was like losing my mind. My dog was gonna die. I had them on dog food, and we had bought a cheap bag of dog food, and him and my other dog, well, my other dog is deceased. He died of cancer, and that was one of the reasons why I created this channel. I have my story on this channel, and why I wanted to help other people. Well, Mateo, the meal that we're making for now, was killed over for a few days, and that's when I decided to transition, and I went on ahead and switched over to the prey model diet, and we started with chicken and beef, and that's when I was running into the allergies And then my senior dog developed pancreatitis from that. So from the dog food to the allergies to the protein, and then now to this meal, he's done really, really good, guys. So I wanted to share it with you. Go ahead and get our... And as soon as I switched him over and got his allergies under control by switching the protein from chicken and beef, I switched to lean pork. He's done wonders, and I've kind of just molded this recipe into, you know, the needs of my dog that fit his needs, and you guys can do that too. And that's why I'm just going over a basic recipe for you, pancreatitis recipe for you guys, and then you can add to it as needed. So I only had a couple of collard greens that I added this time. As soon as I changed the protein, we had results within the first week. His bowels and everything got better and solid, and we've just went up from there. And I've made a lot of additions to their daily prep, their daily feeding. This is the bulk feed for him for 7 days. Get this. If you guys don't have a food processor, you can always rough chop, but for the amount of food like that I'm making, this is the best way. And not only that, anyone who has a dog with severe pancreatitis, pancreatic issues and digestive issues will know that it comes to a point with them that if anything goes in solid, it comes out solid. So you want to basically pre-digest the food for them and get it very, very fine. And then that way it all cooks down to a nice, well-blended daily meal for them. So her Dr. Morgan's recipe calls for shitaki mushrooms. I don't have those today. I didn't make it to the Asian market, so we're going to use crimini mushrooms, which you can use in place. And this is 8 ounces. Pop those in. Yeah, if Mateo eats a solid one of these, it'll come out solid because of his pancreatitis. So you want to get everything down. With the amount that I'm making, I fill up this entire cooker. I need to get a bigger one. I've been looking at the 10 and 12 quarts. So all we're doing is just layering this in the cooker. Here's our mushrooms. Go ahead and get our squash. So this is our butternut squash. Just cut your ends. That's not going to work. There we go. Cut it in half. And what I do, guys, we cook the seeds too. So I'm going to show you how to do that. You just take a spoon and then you just go around. You Get your seeds out, the whole thing. Same thing with this one. All of the pulp out. Here we go. These are going to be cut up and put through the food processor. So everything has to be down to fine pieces, otherwise he won't digest this when it's cooked. So it makes a mess in here. So what I do is I just use scissors and just cut it up into smaller pieces. That way this will all cook down. The seeds are good for him. I started giving him coconut oil each day. It's 1 teaspoon for every 10 pounds, and it helps with their digestion, their skin. It helps control the yeast in their digestive tract, which helps with their ears and paws. That's usually from allergies. Okay, so we're just going to cut this up into smaller little slices. You can cook it on low or high. I can cook it all the way through on high. It usually takes 4 or 5 hours to get the vegetables to cook down enough to where you can add your protein so you can finish cooking it down and together. And I'll show you guys all that. So we can fit for now. So we'll go ahead and get that in. Okay. Get this in. That's the last part. And actually, a pressure cooker is probably a good investment. You can probably have it cooked fast too. And I break this down in 2.5 cups per day, and I put them in a container, and then I have 7 days of food for them. All right. These are the mushrooms that we used. You can use these in place of the shitaki. And then these are the green beans. Alrighty. So I have my ginger here. Calls for 1/8 of a cup. Just want to get the skin off. So glad I found this recipe. I didn't know what to do. I thought my dog was going to die. So I wanted to make sure and get an updated video on here for you guys. I just want to cut this up fine. And then I'll bring you guys back and show you how we cook the meat down. Alright, so you just put your ginger on top. Put your lid, and now you're good to go. Drop it in the cooker. Alright guys, so I have our lean pork here. This is how it comes. They come in logs of 5 pounds, and then you get 3 logs per case, so it's 15 pounds. So I just defrost it, auto defrost at 6 pounds in your microwave. Drain this excess blood and liquid. And we're gonna cook this down and drain it. And then we're gonna add this to the vegetable mixture that I showed you guys how to do, that we put in our cooker. This is what I use to drain it. Okay, go ahead and turn our stove on. Break the meat apart. And I wanted to mention, guys, I didn't put in the liver or the gizzards that Dr. Judy calls for the pancreatitis recipe, because those tend to be really rich and high in vitamins, and a dog that is not used to eating those types, it can cause them stomach upset and diarrhea. So that's something that you want to add gradually over time. So like I said, I just wanted to make a basic for you guys so you have a nice foundation to start with, and then you can add things as needed for your pet. So all we have to do is just cook this down and drain it, and I'll bring you guys back. So I got it all cooked down. Now we just need to drain it. Set your pot aside. All right, and then we're just going to set this aside. And that's going to set aside until we're ready to add it. All right, guys. So we're halfway through the cooking. And now we'll add the meat. So this is the meat that we cooked and drained earlier and set aside. Now you can put it in to your cooker. Like I said, I use I use all available space in this cooker. But it works. So you just get a little bit in there on top, and then all you have to do, guys, is just stir this in. And that way it can finish cooking with the meat in it. And everything comes together in the end. It's all nice and emulsified. Put the rest in here. And then you just break this down into your containers for the week, and then you're good to go. This recipe is great. Hope you guys are able to use it and get your fur babies back on the road of good health. Okay. Now we're good to go. So just put the lid on and let it finish cooking down. If you had it on high, you can put it to low and let it finish cooking for another few hours. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you how I make their food to feed them daily. So this is what we cooked. This is put in its portion for the day in the fridge. So I'm going to take all of this and we're just going to add it into our cooking pot. This is for my two girls over here. This is cooked pork. And it's a little over a cup each for them. And then this is my senior, Mateo. This is his pancreatitis daily meal prep. So I'm just going to heat this up. I have sweet potatoes here already cooked. I just put them in I have a steamer. So you just want to take some. Go. We do the same for the girls. And this I set aside for my girls. So I'm going to show you how I do theirs too. This kind of mixed in. As it starts to heat up, the fats and everything will start to combine. guys over here. I'll show you. This is going to be for him. Let me get a mixing bowl. This is for my girls. So I put some, this is just cooked kale and some collard greens. We don't have to do this with Mateo because all of his vegetables and everything are already cooked together. And then all I do is just boil these. It's like a simmer boil. Cook these down. They need to be soft. Usually about 40 minutes it takes to cook on medium on the stove. And I just make it for the week. So that way they have it each day. So I do this. And their meat is going to go in here, so then I can mix everything together for them. Okay. So his is done. So you just put it in your bowl. Okay. This is the fish that I give them. Mateo gets 1/4 of a cup of the liquid daily. I also give them tuna as well. The girls will also get some of the liquid over their food. He gets a tablespoon of the ground flaxseed. And gets 10 micrograms of D3. You want to stay low on the vitamin D. Mateo's about 50 pounds. One of those. He gets 10,000 micrograms of biotin and keratin. Well, it's 100 milligrams of keratin and 10,000 micrograms of biotin. He gets one of those a day. My girls' meat is heated up, so we just put it into their mixing bowl, just like that. Mateo gets his fish oil. It's 1 a day. Turmeric. It's a great antioxidant. It's good for arthritis, inflammation. The girls get it too. And theirs. We put black pepper. Black pepper helps them absorb the turmeric better in their digestive tract. Just need to mix this all up. And you guys add what your dog needs, just like I have to do. So we make the base, and then we have our daily prep, our daily meal. He eats our hard-boiled eggs as snacks. He does well with those. He's able to eat turkey on occasion. Even the turkey bones are okay on occasion for him. Some sauerkraut. Good for his digestion. The girls get it too. Coconut oil. I just started giving this to them the past 2 weeks, and they've done really well on it. It also helps control the yeast in their digestive tract. It's 1 teaspoon per 10 pounds of dog. So, Mateo gets 4. And when you start giving them the coconut oil, just gradually increase it. If you have a small dog, it shouldn't be a problem. My girls haven't had any issues on it, and they get 1 teaspoon. So just mix all this in. Alrighty. I'm missing. These are the eggshells that I use from their boiled eggs. It's good calcium for them. You get some of it in his vitamin D supplement, and from the omegas and from the fish liquid at least. Alright, so his is done, so I'll go ahead and feed him. I'll upload some separate videos of them eating. This is the girls. I just want to mix this all up. They eat on plates, Mateo eats out of a bowl. Okay. Eggshells. Some liquid. I need a container for you. Okay, sorry guys, I needed a container. So this is what I do with the excess liquid. I put this in the fridge, and then that way we have it for a few days for them. fillet. There. Just fan it open for him like that. Sauerkraut. Half tablespoon. For flaxseed. Coconut oil. I just put it on the side for them. They like it. Coconut oil. And then all we need to do is just mix everything up. Real good for them. Same with hers. I have a Beagle Jack Russell mix and a Parsons Terrier and Jack Russell Terrier mix. And then Mateo is an Australian Shepherd. He's the one with pancreatitis. He's an Australian Shepherd mix. All right. And then the girls get sweet potato. Too much. Like this. There we go. They're biogenic keratin. So with this one, I actually need to get a pill crusher. I had one, but I left it at our other house. So then I can crush these up. So what I do is I just do this and make them really fine. Because if it's whole, the girls won't eat them. They won't eat it, so... that, and then we just have to cover it. And there you go. This is daily prep for my other two dogs.